Hey you guys, hey everyone. Um, my daughter made cake at school today, and it is so good. It's gluten free too. Welcome back to my channel. Trigger warning: anytime we discuss Quinton Simon, unfortunately, comes as a trigger warning due to the nature of the topic. 20-month-old Quinton Simon, little boy, went missing out of his home in Savannah, Georgia. His mom is named as the prime and only suspect in the case, and right now, warning, rumor is his mother is in some sort of inpatient rehab facility. Um, After news came out, uh, protesters, started grouping up outside the house. Things kind of got rowdy. They were blaring music, baby noises. The protesters, it got really rowdy. So the Chief Hadley, he has implemented some ordinances to keep the protesters at bay, I guess you could say. Either way, when it was really bad, as far as like the protesters and how bad everything was going, Leilani ditched out. It seems they say she went to some sort of rehab facility, and I think she's doing this because she knows her clock is a ticking, and she is going to use this for her defense. Like, well, I was under the influence of blah blah blah, and now I'm trying to get help. So look at me, I'm trying to get help. So go light on my sentence because I'm trying to get help. That's what I'm thinking. While making kids breakfast. I love breakfast for dinner. I love that. I was watching someone else said the BJ was asking friends for money before the police said he was deceased. I haven't heard that. But anyways, one thing that's been happening that I don't really understand is all of the police are watching that family. I mean, I've been watching other channels that have lawyers on, that have ex sheriffs on, and they're like, why haven't they made an arrest? Yet, it seems like they have a pretty decent case. I mean, the boy is missing. The mother was there. There was three people in the house. She has an addiction problem. XYZ. Why haven't they made an arrest? And everyone is like, they are dotting their T's and crossing their I's. They are building a case. They're building a good case so that when they do arrest her, it will stick and she won't walk like, say, Casey Anthony. Casey Anthony basically walked. And you guys, lo and behold, Casey Anthony is coming back. She's done a little interview with some channel. I think it's going to be on like Discovery Plus or something. I don't know. But she walked. So, I still haven't been able to get in touch with Blind Furry because y'all, I am so busy. If I'm not with my kids and researching, I'm here with you guys. So I literally don't have a spare minute, but I'm going to talk to Blind Furry, figure out how to get him up on panel, even if it's through a phone call to ask him questions. I definitely want to do that. But anyways, you guys, Peacock is coming out on Peacock. But anyways, one thing that started happening relatively kind of early, I guess you could say, is YouTubers. There was this YouTube channel that reached out to Billie Joe and become close to Billie Joe. And then for some reason, unbeknownst to me, very unbeknownst to me, that YouTube channel went live, and that YouTube channel went live and actually had Billie Joe on panel, basically, essentially, which I would be willing to bet money that if Leilani is arrested, if Billie Joe is arrested for, say, something like negligence or something like that, these will be the things that are used against them. Thank you so much. What do you got?
Just a cheeseburger.
Oh, thank you. Is that what you got the kids for dinner?
Yeah, I just grabbed everybody a cheeseburger and the little kids a Happy Meal.
Okay, thank you. Love you. Did you get my message?
No.
Oh.
They gave it to me for free because I was so good looking.
That's what it is. That's how it works around here. My husband's so good looking, he gets cheeseburgers for free. Anyways, so they're going to use this against her. And I've said it many times, like, share, if you are friends with this family and you really do care about BJ, get her offline. Don't let her get online. He emailed me, but I just haven't had it. I'm telling you guys, I was on the phone this morning with somebody else concerning something different. And that phone call ended up lasting like 3 hours and kind of pushed back everything else I needed to do, and anyways. So I was hoping to be able to talk to, maybe reach back out to Blind Furry, have that, do that one phone call, reach out to Blind Furry, and maybe do that phone call as well. But the one phone call lasted super long, so I'm gonna yeah. But I feel like Cher is essentially helping them put the nail in the coffin, so to speak. Because the things that have been said, the things that are that Billie Joe has said online, it could potentially come back. And this one, for sure, this one, I think. So let's go ahead and look. And it went up, and I'm not for sure if this was on Cher's live stream, but I'm going to imagine it probably was, because Billie Joe doesn't go live with anyone else. She has come to trust, she's really come to trust thank you so much, Behind the Crimes, Michelle Sutton. I sent you an email about getting up with Blind Furry about it, but he is in chat. CC'd in the email. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Did I exit out of that video? I did. Gotta find it again. I'm assuming it was on Cher's channel, because she don't go live with anybody else. She's learned to trust her. She seems like she trusts Cher a lot, even though there was a video, and there was audio that came out where Bullhorn Betty essentially admitted that her and Cher are kind of working together. Billie Joe chose not to believe that, and she continues to trust Cher. Cher is telling her, don't go on other channels, so get the views and money. And I believe Cher is probably coming from Cher's probably saying this: don't trust anybody else. You don't know who to trust. Don't talk to anybody else. You don't know who to trust. So don't go to anybody else's panel, because you really don't know what they're doing, or if you can trust them. All the while, I think it's going to come out eventually that Cher is not to be trusted. I don't think Cher is doing this for the best reasons, because if she was, she would not put Billie Joe up on her panel at all, ever. She would talk to her. She would talk to her, be there for her, but I definitely don't think she would have her up on her panel. Let me see. Oh, thank you. Sorry. Yeah, that was definitely my bad. Did that fix it? Quinton Simon's grandmother, Billie Joe, breaks down on live asking, why did God give me two murderers? Did I fix that? Sorry, my title was messed up. So anyways, from my understanding, this happened on it was on Queen Bee's panel. Wow, it's right there on the screen. It was on Queen Bee's panel, and she literally said, why did God give me two murders? Now, I'm getting it because it was, apparently they privated or something, so you couldn't see it after a minute, but obviously people did catch it. Here's the thing. Anything that you say online, if it's something that's shocking, that matters, the people that are watching it right then, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, she just said that? Rewind, screen record, rewind. You're not going to be able to private it and think that nobody is going to see it. It's just not going to happen, right? So, that's what happened. And basically, Heels in the Air, the channel that runs Heels in the Air, they got it, obviously, and they have a video. We're not going to watch their entire video. I will link it in the description box below. I don't know who runs Heels in the Air. I've heard of Heels on the Ground. Not familiar with Heels in the Air. So I'm not really promoting that channel. I don't want people to be like, do you know who that is? I don't know who it is. This video they did a good job on, and they caught this clip, and I'm going to use this clip under fair use guidelines, and I will link the rest of the video. Behind the Crime says, my question is BJ admitting that Leilani killed Quinton by that statement? That's what a lot of people are wondering. Is she admitting that she knows that Leilani killed Quinton Simon? That's the question that everybody's asking. So let's go ahead and let's listen to it. I don't want to cover up the title of the name, but let's. There's Heels in the Air. I love their little shoe thing they got going on with the red high heels. I have a tattoo of a red high heel, so fan. But let's go ahead and let's listen to what. Told what in the chat today?
Night.
I feel like a failure.
Think she needs you. No, you're not a failure. You have to.
She says, I feel like a failure. No, you're not a failure.
So much. You pay so much. Yeah, no.
You pay so much. So the voice in the background is BJ's best friend who is there with her. So she's saying, I feel like a failure.
I appreciate all of that from a bystander. And I love the thing that's towards her. The things that she needs help with, you can't help her. She's going to have to find that in herself, and God's going to put it there. Right?
You got to find it in herself. I want her to get support and love.
Somebody brings up God, like God's going to help her. God's going to be there for her, something like that. And then I think this is where she's about to question. They're playing music in the background too, so I don't want to get in trouble with that.
A lot of support and love.
And you got to keep praying.
How does God give me two murderers? How? How does God do that to me? How? I'm not supposed to be mad.
Okay, well,
How does God give me two murderers? How? I'm not supposed to be mad. How? It is unfortunate that she's blaming God for the actions of her children because God also gave us free will. And that's the thing here is often when people do bad things or bad things happen, they question God. But God gives everyone on earth free will, which unfortunately means that sometimes bad things happen to good people. And unfortunately, the end all be all is up in heaven. So I know people's like, well, he was a good person, but he died at a young age. That's so sad. He got killed in a car wreck by a drunk driver. Unfortunately, that drunk driver made the decision to drink and drive, and it resulted in the loss of a life. But the thing is this is not it. And for people that have different beliefs, you are more than entitled to those beliefs. I am a Christian, so God is not to blame here. Your children have free will. God, didn't raise them. You did, Billie Joe, and God gives people free will. And unfortunately, a lot of times the way people were raised could have an impact on how they act in their adulthood. From my understanding, Billie Joe was on a live stream, so she was basically recording herself.
you know what? The first one was an axe of fucking dead.
So then her friend says, you know what? The first one was an axe of effing dent, and you know it. The first one was an axe of effing dent. She doesn't say they're both accidents. You know they're both accidents. We think they're accidents. Billie Joe has already put it out privately, and it's come out publicly, that she thinks it, more than likely it was an accident concerning Leilani. Probably they were under the influence, passed out, and something bad happened, and she just freaked out and didn't know what to do. So why is her friend only saying the first one was an accident? And how do you shoot someone on accident when you're robbing them? We'll go over the Sun story in a minute. But I'm like, no. I have a problem with everything they're saying here. The first one was an accident. I have an article to read you guys for the first one. Her son was literally robbing this man. The man fought back. And the gun went off. Or no, the gun didn't go off. My bad. The man fought back. Therefore, her son shot him. But it was an accident because he didn't intend on shooting him. He was only intending to rob him. But then the man fought. So then he had to shoot him. It was an accident. What? And the thing is she's said privately that she thought that the situation with Quinton and Leilani was an accident. But now her friend is only saying the first one was an accident. So are we saying the second one was on purpose and it was intentional? What are we saying here? Let's continue.
No, Billie Joe, don't you dare. Don't you dare. This one.
Hey, it's all about the headlines, Beth. You think anybody?
Yeah,
fucking.
So then she says it's all about the headlines, Beth. You thinking about Billie Joe? Don't be concerned about the headlines, babe. You should not be concerned about the headlines. Why? Here's the thing. When my 2.5-year-old nephew passed away, there were all these videos being made on YouTube, and my main concern was being with my family. It irritated me, but my main concern was taking a break and being with my family. When you have something like that going on, what matters is the innocent baby that's gone, the innocent life of that older man that your son took, Can we, J. Marie, Mom of Three, can you delete J. Marie's comment, Destiny's comment, please? Mom of Three, is Candy in here? Any of the mods, can y'all get that comment, please? Thank you. Okay, so let's continue because they also say some things that just literally I don't understand it.
These people and fuck their headlines. That's all there is to that, you know?
F these people and F these headlines. F these people and F these headlines. So what you're telling me is the victims don't deserve to have what's happening to them put out there? When a man is killed, taken out into the woods, his hands binded, and shot, don't talk about that. Let's not talk about that. No, don't talk about that. Because then that would be hard on the murderer and his family. Let's not talk about that. What? F the headlines. What the headlines is doing is bringing, putting the story out of what happened. Yeah, F these people and F the headlines. So F the people that care about Quinton. F the people that cared about this man that your son killed. F the victims. They don't have a right for their story to be told. You know? Yeah, guys, we try not to. Also, when you go into a chat and you say so-and-so is live right now, that's kind of... Creators will get people to do that. Creators will be like, hey, I'm going to be live at the same time as this person. So go in her live and tell her people that I'm live so they'll leave her live and come to mine. So when it happens, we take it out, not trying to be rude, but we don't know if it's done intentionally. And it's not nice to drive, our crowd into someone else's channel. It's kind of disrespectful, and I don't want to say that. And I'm sure you probably don't know that, but that's what'll happen. If you come in here and you say, so-and-so is live right now, well, then if all of my people leave and go to his, that leaves me over here just twiddling my thumbs on a live stream because you've driven all my audience to someone else. And I want to say that as respectfully as I can, but I've literally had people do that so much that I'm questioning if it's being done on purpose, not necessarily by you, but just in general. But let's continue to listen.
They don't fucking know the real deal.
They don't know the real deal.
They don't. It's just people wanting to make money off tragedies, and that.
It's people want to make money off tragedies. I will say there are some people that want to make money off tragedies. That happens. There are people that want to make money off tragedies, and unfortunately, that's the world that we live in. It sucks. But there are also people that really want to give a voice to the voiceless, like Doug Bishop said. There are also people that want to give Quinton Simon a voice. There are also people that want to give, a voice to the man that was shot and killed because your son tried to rob him. Not everyone is doing this with bad intentions, and they're lumping everybody into a group, I think.
I'm sorry, but there's sick fucking people out there.
Somebody said, oh, she's talking about Cher. Note taken.
They're sick as fuck.
She literally is saying right here. She's literally, I think her son got 45 years. I got something we're going to talk about in a minute. I got a little write-up about it. I'm going to go over and read it to you guys. But she literally says, I'm scared people's going to stop talking about him. She don't want people to stop talking about her grandson. The thing is I think she just wants people to talk about it in a way that doesn't really maybe speak the truth about Leilani, maybe. I mean, I really don't know what she wants here. Because she says, I'm so scared people's going to quit talking about him. And my sister has told us that before. So my nephew died in 2019 at 2.5 years old. And that's one of the things that my sister has said. I'm so scared people will forget him. I'm so scared our family will forget. And I'm like, our family's not going to forget him. So we still talk about him all the time, because that's one of the things she fears. So we talk about it. Thank you so much, Tia, for the super chat. Thank you. Yeah, at the same time, they are getting super stickers, showing cash apps, talking about how they're having to sell their things because they're so broke. They're making money off of it, but complaining about other people making money off of it. If people cover this story in a respectful way, here's the thing. If you put your time and energy into this story because you believe Quinton Simon deserves justice, So you put your time into this. I think people deserve to be paid for their work. However, people that do these live streams every day, all day, hours on end, even when there's no new updated information, they go there knowing that they're not going to solve a problem, but they're going to stir up even more of a problem because it'll bring more viewers. And they're constantly talking about, well, we traveled here, you guys, it's costing us a lot. Those are the people that are doing this for the wrong reasons,
Stop.
So she says, I'm so scared they're gonna stop and heels on the ground, like heels in the air. Says, I promise I won't until there's justice for this angel. Props to you. I don't know this channel, but I really like the way they put this video together. We're gonna listen again.
Oh, you're not a failure. You have done
No,
so
baby.
much. You've done so much.
Can't help her. I appreciate all of that from a bystander, and I love the things towards her. The things that she needs help with. Can't help her. She's gonna have to find that in herself, and God's gonna put it there. Right?
You gotta find it in herself. I want her to get support and love. She got a lot of support and love.
And you gotta keep
But
praying.
how does God give me 2 murderers? How? How does God do that to me? I'm not supposed to be mad.
Okay, well, you know what? The first one was an accident fucking day. You know it. Billy Joe, don't you dare. Don't you dare. This one,
Hey, it's all about the headlines, Beth. You think it's about the
Yeah, fuck these people and fuck their headlines. That's all there is to that,
They don't fucking know the real deal.
They don't.
Okay, so two murders. So there is she basically admitting that she knows that her daughter murdered her grandson, or did it just come out that way because she's, her mind's not well right now? What does she mean by that? A lot of people saying, she let it slip. I'm saying that's not going to look good once the DA sees that. That's what I'm saying. Once Chief Hadley, the district attorney, prosecutor, once they see that, they're going to be like, oh, okay, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Also, concerning them saying that about the, where's the link? Them saying that about, F the people. To me, that just made me feel like, oh, okay, so screw the victims. Because when an article comes out about Quinton, you guys are mad about that? When an article comes out about the man that your son killed, you guys are mad about that? Screw them, right? Screw the victims. What? This was the whole context of the conversation, though, but it sounds like that from the clip. Yeah, all I've seen was the clip. I didn't see the whole thing because I think they took it down, from my understanding. My understanding, they took it down. She was on a live stream, from my understanding. She was on a live stream for a YouTube channel, and she's broke a few times. Billie Joe has broken down more than once on a live stream, which I don't think is the right. That's why she don't need to be on a live stream. So all I know is we hear her saying it's. I mean, I don't know what the context could be outside of that, because at this point, what else can she think? So it was on Queen Bee's channel, from my understanding. She was on. BJ was on Queen Bee's panel. This was said, and they took the video down right after the live went off, and other people recorded it because they were watching, and they're putting it up on their channel. So let me go back, because I'm thinking, how much different could the context be?
No, you're not a failure. You have done so much.
I'm a failure.
So much.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
They say something about God, and then she says, why did God give me 2 murderers? They're not even talking about God. You're a failure. I'm a failure. No, you're not. Don't say that, BJ. Don't say that. And then the other woman says something about God. And then she yells, why did God give me 2 murderers? Don't you dare say that, her friend says. Don't you dare say that. You know the other one, the first one, was an accident effing did. And she's like, that's not what matters. All that matters is the headlines, right? The headlines is what matters. And they say, F the headlines and F those people. So that's kind of what I'm listening to. And I'm just commenting on those things, what was said there. Yeah, it was on Queen Bee's, but she privated it because some of the clip channels, not all, but some of the clip channels took them, and it looked bad. Yeah, BJ isn't helping her. BJ hasn't helped her look watch just many of her actions. That's right. Yeah, they don't look good, unfortunately. So let's go over this, though. Pooler man sentenced to 45 years in the 2011 slaying. In 2011 slaying, right? So, this is about when the woman says the first one was an axe that effing dent and you know it. This is what they're talking about, the first one. Who stopped the live? Who stopped the live? Queen Bee, she should have. None of them should have Billie Joe on their panel right now. Queen Bee, Cher, none of them should have Billie Joe on their panel. Why would they? Anything that she says could potentially be used against her. So if I was her friend and I wanted to look out for her, I would say, call me anytime you need to, honey. I'll talk to you, but we don't need to go on panel right now. Maybe once this is over with, maybe once charges are pressed on Leilani and we know that you're not going to get in any trouble and you can actually talk about it, then I will hand my platform over to you, or I'll help you make a channel when we know you can talk about it and it won't come back to bite you in the butt. But right now, no. Anybody that cared about that woman would not allow her on their panel. You know, do it behind the scenes, wait till this is over. But let's talk about that first murder that they said was an axe at effing dent. Let's talk about that, okay? Right, thank you for letting me know what was going on there. That's not directed at you. So a Pooler man today pled guilty. The Pooler man being Billie Joe's son pleaded guilty to armed robbery and voluntary manslaughter in a 2011 slaying in return for a 45-year prison term, 22 years that he has to serve. Nathaniel Quinton Betterton, 19 years old, must serve 20 years without parole on an armed robbery conviction, Chatham County Superior Court Chief Judge Michael Karp ordered as part of a plea agreement. He got a 45 years prison sentence at the age of 19. 22 years of it he must serve. Betterton admitted to robbing Timothy Moore on September 12, 2011 in a wooded area in Pooler. Moore attempted to tackle Betterman, and the defendant shot him several times, killing him. So that's why it was an accident, you guys. It was an accident. He didn't intend to kill him. He was just going to rob him. He was going to kill him. He was going to rob him. So therefore, it's an accident. I'm sorry, but if you rob someone, you better be willing to kill someone, because some people fight back. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't rob someone and think that's all it's going to be. And then if you end up killing that person because you were going to rob them, I'm sorry, but it's not an accident. It's not an accident. Yeah, you accidentally on purpose killed this person because you on purpose went to rob them and expected that they not fight back. I'm sorry. Exactly. So, as part of a negotiated plea, Assistant DA Isabel Pauley reduced the murder charge to a voluntary manslaughter. Betterton was sentenced to 20 years on probation to run in addition to the prison term. He added 5 years in prison with 2 to serve on a charge of possession of firearm during the commission of a crime. As part of his agreement with prosecutors, Betterton will testify against co-defendants. Also a part of this plea agreement is her son turned on Sharif Palmer and Aaron Sad, who are scheduled for trial beginning October 8th, because I think they were all in it together. I think it was 3 of them that was going to rob this man. So he turned against them and, kind of ratted on them or whatever. According to prosecutors, the 2 co-defendants knew the victim and schemed to rob him after seeing him flash a large sum of money. They provided Betterton, who was new to the area and did not know the defendant, with a gun used to kill the victim. So you tell me how that's an accident. Thank you guys. Thank you to everyone coming in on my hair. I appreciate you guys. Billie Joe did give birth to 2 murderers, somebody said in the chat. That is me reading a comment. I'm retired LE, and what I heard today is enough to bring the DA for charges. See, that's her saying that about the murder. Like, are you saying like Billie Joe saying that? That's enough to bring charges on Leilani? Seems like their minds and priorities isn't on the same outlook as most of ours. I can't even wrap my head around most of what they say. I can't either. I watched Share when they had Blind Furry on, and I have a video about that where I listened to it and I gave commentary on it, and I was just blown away. I was just blown away at how they made excuses, how they gaslit him, the deflection of what we all know is going on here. They were so mean to him. Yeah. Wouldn't it be hearsay for Leilani? That's what I would think. I mean, I don't know. Um, I, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe with all the evidence they know, I'm not really sure. How can they defend this? I wasn't sure why they went so poorly on the live. Yeah, I don't know why anyone would have her on the live. And the people on the live with her basically saying, "Oh, you know, the first one was a mistake. It was an accident. Does it make it any better? If you show up to rob someone, does that mean he shot him? He shot him. Yeah, Blind Furry challenged them with grace, and they couldn't handle it, so they booted him. Exactly. Billie Joe, just think of her family are here for killing whoever they like. Um, yeah, the thing is God didn't give you them two murders. God gave you two beautiful children. God gave you two innocent, beautiful babies. That's what God gave you for you to raise however you desire, because we get free will, right? Unfortunately, you lost custody of your kids for 9 years, and they lived with. I'm not sure who they lived with, and could they have been abused somewhere along the way? They knew about what you were dealing with, and then you got them back. And I wonder if when she got her kids back, if it was this dynamic of her trying to be their friend more than their parent, because she had missed out on all this time and kind of screwed up during those 9 years, and to lose them. So when she got them back, was it more of her trying to be friends with them now? So she would go out with them. She wouldn't steer them in the right direction, and then Leilani starts having these kids, and she sees Leilani's messing up. They moved to this area. I mean, the boy, her son, they said he was new to the area. So he's new to the area, and he meets up with these two guys, and he just, okay, yeah, let's rob this guy. Oh, you got the gun? Sure, I'll do it. That's very easy to be influenced, So unfortunately, it's not God's fault. A lot of times when things like this happen, people want to blame it on someone, and most of the time they blame it on God. I'm sorry, but it's not God's fault. Everyone has the same, exactly. Everyone is given choices in life, and it's what you want to do with the chances that you have, with the opportunities that you have, or what you want to make out of your life. Should have had you on the case. Well, thank you. Sean tells me that all the time. He's like, you just cannot even argue with you. He's like, literally, I can't argue with you. Every time I think I have a point, I say it, and then you just shoot me back down, And I'm like, I'm going to figure out how to get Blind Furry on, I promise you guys. But I saw this, and I was like, when I saw that clip and I saw her say that, I was like, because I knew. I was like, oh, girl, you just stuck your foot in your mouth. It went all the way down your throat, into your stomach, and you've pooped it out, and it's back running down your leg. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's about reached where your foot should be. That was the worst thing you could have said, and I get it. Like, I mean, I don't get it. I'm not in her position, but she's going through something. Billie Joe is going through something. Her grandchild is gone, dead, body disposed of like trash. Her daughter did it. She has one son in prison already who's not getting out for another, how many years? I don't even know. So she's in a bad way. She is. And she should be with everything that's going on. Nobody could handle that. Nobody could handle everything that is going on right now. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can handle that. But you should be handling that as best you can offline with people that you know care about you. Don't be giving people chances because you don't know their intentions. And I say that about Cher. Like I'm talking about Cher. You don't know her true intentions. You should not have linked up with anybody from YouTube and become close to them because you don't know what their true intentions are. You should have stuck to the people that you know, people that are your friends from your hometown that you've been friends with for 25, 10, 15 years. Have them over, talk to them, your pastor, because they have mentioned having a pastor before. Oh, Firefly, yeah, possibly so. But anybody would be in a bad position. You know what I'm saying? But you need to surround yourself with the people that you know care about you and that you know have your best intentions at heart. Not people that may turn on you at one point. Not people that may turn on you at one point. Because I worry that that's going to happen. And you're already going through all of this. You've made your mistakes. You made your mistakes. You went partying out at Tybee Island with your daughter. The things that you've done during this protest. You made your mistake. But I don't doubt that she's hurting. But she needs to hurt in that house without all these people watching her. She don't need to go on live. If she feels the need to speak into a camera, record yourself. Get a journal. Get a journal. Write your feelings down in a journal. Record yourself on your phone. Cry it out. Cry it out. But it needs to be. She has to know that. She has to know that anything that she says online could potentially be used against them. Who has said the child is absolutely without a doubt deceased? There's nobody. Maybe he's been sold, kidnapped. It's possible. It's very possible. I think there's like something going around that Leilani was on camera disposing of something at like 3 o'clock in the morning. That still could be closed. We don't know what she was disposing of, but that is why they think that Leilani. That's why they think that Leilani may have disposed of his body at in a garbage can. I don't think did they ever say. They said that they believe that he's deceased and potentially at the landfill. And I think that's coming from them having Leilani on camera at like 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, putting something in the trash. But I don't think they could tell for sure that it was little Quinton. I think they just think that's probably what it was. So I'm not sure. But potentially so. I don't know. I'm going to watch this really quickly, and I'm going to link Hills in the Air's full video because it's got some clips of Quinton. I do want to show a couple of them, but not all of them. Look at that. Who would hurt that baby? Hold on. Who would hurt that baby? Oh, listen to this. Listen to this. I think there's a song playing in the background. Happy. He said, I pee-peed. I pee-peed. I think that's what he was saying. I think he was saying, I pee-peed. I pee-peed. That's Billie Joe right there. That's Billie Joe right there. Playing with the kids. I know she loved them. She just don't want to accept that, things went wrong. And she is responsible a little bit for that, Cutest little baby. Cutest little baby. I got the full video linked below. Elle Bee was waiting for this type of outburst. See, that's what I was watching a channel that had like an old police chief or something. And he said they're watching every move they make. Every time they go online, any comments they're making, anywhere they go, they're taking notes of this. And they are trying to get all the info that they can get. So I don't know. What do you guys think about the comments? God gave me 2 murderers. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys think she said it in the sense that she knows that Leilani did it? That she has inside knowledge? Maybe given her by Leilani. Like, yes, I did it. Or do you guys just think maybe now she's thinking that Leilani did it and that's in her head, so that's the way that it slipped out? Should have known where he was at all times, part 2. I think they don't want any room for doubt. Exactly, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. They are just doing everything that they can. I'm positive she knows she did it, and she is staying drugged to mask the pain. Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying. That it seems like she's been under the influence a lot. When did BJ make that comment? It was last night. Camera in the back of the trailer facing the dumpster, and a canine hit. I think she knows 100%, and now it's just breaking down because holding the secrets is too much for her. Seems like she's doing a lot of self-medicating, which, y'all, I'm thinking to myself, holy crap, if I ever got in a position like that, which I don't think I ever would, if anybody ever told me my daughter killed her son, which my daughter don't have a son, I would be like, no, she didn't. There ain't no way you're going to convince me, because I don't think I've raised a murderer. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I've raised a child that would do something like that. But if God forbid something like this happened, you have one child in jail for murder, then a second, and a dead grandson. I would have to take something for something, you know. She sent that text saying she was fine with both of them going to effing prison. She did. She did send a text, which some people wonder if those messages were discussed ahead of time. Hey, let's put something out to kind of get the public off your back. Why don't you say that you want Leilani to go to jail? That you want whoever respond. That way it'll get the public off your back a little bit. A lot of people think that was a planned attempt to get people off Billie Joe's back. I don't know. D-Lynn, where's D-Lynn at? Somebody said D-Lynn disgusting. I was Ellie 25 years, 15 in homicide. Those texts were so staged. That's what a lot of people are saying. The action seems to be she knows something, otherwise she would be looking. Yeah, right? I mean, wouldn't you be looking? Unless you knew for sure the baby was deceased. My father died. I was living on smokes and wine for a month. I mean, yeah. And Billie Joe did say in the audio with Quinton's biological father, Bubba Moss, she said, like, oh, you know how it is when you're on drugs? We both know. Passed in 2017. If the cops told her I was responsible for hurting one of my kids, she would have flipped out. Definitely wouldn't be agreeing with it. I would love to talk to you about on my panel when I get my voice back. If you'd like to discuss more about that topic, yeah, that's a good idea. You think with all the technology they'd be able to find the child? Child's so little, like the size of a baby doll almost, and was in there for a week. Was in there for a week before they started looking. So, D-Lynn message Peacock gave Casey Anthony money for interview. Wow, really? I can't believe the discussion in between chatters. What do you mean? What's the discussion in between chatters? Yes, they did suspend the search for Quinton. Oh my God, let me show you guys this. Uh, oh. Um. Look, that's the babysitter with Quinton. A lot of people want to condemn the babysitter, and I'm like, how? What? Cher wants to condemn the babysitter, and I'm like, what the heck did the babysitter do? The babysitter, all these other people had a responsibility, had a responsibility to this child. And the one person, her only responsibility is on the hours that she had Quinton. When she had Quinton, that's when she was going to be responsible. Let me see, because I did have it up a while ago of when they would, because of the hurricane, because of the tropical storm, they have suspended it. Savannah landfill search is missing toddler is suspended due to tropical storm Nicole. The grueling search for missing Tyler, Quinton, Simon in Georgia landfill has been paused due to Tropical Storm Nicole. The Chatham County Sheriff's Office and the FBI will suspend the search in the Savannah Waste Management landfill from Thursday through Sunday. Thursday through Sunday. So they'll be back Sunday. Yeah. Sitter had no, I mean, they're mad that the sitter didn't abuse the baby, I guess. That's what it sounds like. Well, I mean, what the hell else can they be mad about? The sitter did everything she was supposed to do. When you call and text and cancel the babysitter, she's not going to run to the house and be like, you can't cancel me. I've already been paid for. You know, I mean, she's just going to be like, oh, okay. And then they're like, she should have contacted Billie Joe. Was that a plan that was put in place? Hey, listen, you get them from, they bring the baby and drop the baby off, or you go get the baby, whatever. But if they cancel on you, you need to let me know that. Was that ever even told? Did they cancel in the past? And Billie Joe never say, hey, when they cancel, you got to come to me. You know? It's canceled from today until Sunday. I guess because they're saying the weather's going to get bad. I'm not sure. There is a tropical storm, Nicole, that they're preparing for. So, yeah, I mean, they should put him up on a billboard if they think he could be missing. I mean, heck, they paid at least $300 for that banner they made of Cher. Why not make something like that for Quinton and remove Cher's banner and put one for Quinton on their gate? But it's because they know that he's gone, in my opinion. Thank you, Alexis. I love you. Thank you. My hope of them finding him is dwindling. Yeah, unfortunately. White Boy Lockdown Radio. I always get his name confused. White Boy Lockdown Radio. He has a channel, and he's worked for Waste Management in the past, and he drove like the trucks, and he talks about how hard it's going to be to find them. He talks about the process of when you get the garbage there, and how they compact it, and how they bulldoze it, and just, he says it's going to be like a needle in a haystack. So you guys go watch that video. I'll pin it, or I will put it in the description box below. He really goes into detail about his time working there, and how, like, in a week's time, it's going to be compacted, you know. So I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. Unless they have evidence going in another direction so far. No, only playing field. Go ahead and close this one out, but you guys let me your thoughts. Billie Joe, is she just opening up a can of worms and giving the DA and the prosecution all kind of stuff to work with by her continuing to go on these panels? If it was you, would you guys go on this panel? If it was somebody that you knew, a friend of yours, would you advise them to go on these panels, or would you tell them not to go on the panels? Are you a friend to allow someone on your panel and they're dealing with this? Leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. I cover a wide variety of topics right now. I'm doing reality television. I'm doing trending topics, a little bit of crime, you guys. Covering the Quinton Simon story. I'm covering AWP Jared Lasek story, where he was indicted on charges of rape. And I am covering, Sister Wives reality television show. I cover some of the teen moms still. So how does anyone know for sure where Leilani is? We really don't. We are taking people that are liars. They're telling us that she's not there. We really don't know if that's where she's at. But you guys, some of your thoughts. Make sure you give this video a huge thumbs up. Let's see. We got 516 people in here, you guys, and 226 thumbs up. So do me a big favor and hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button. I love you guys. We'll be back here in just a little bit to talk about some Sister Wives stuff. Gwendolyn Brown, one of the children, she is the child of Cody Brown and Christine Brown. She was on a TikTok with a friend, and she was literally doing like a whole Q&A where she said, yes, Janelle has left Cody. She doesn't like Robin, and she talks about Mary, and she just gives a lot of details into what's going on. So you guys join me back here in just a little bit. We're going to talk about that. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys 30 minutes. Bye, everyone.